Check 1, 2. Here we go. Alright. I'm gonna try to make this really quick here. Mortal Blob. Watch the replay. This is just a little demonstration of the immense power of the Blob. The quote-unquote Blob. I'm still experimenting with the absolute optimal form of it, but I think it's basically locked in. I do have a garrison, but the garrison takes, and the Blob does not, like the actual main Blob. Loads up, and, okay, here we go. So, reinforcements are going to arrive. I'm going to go ahead and just fast forward through all this. Get us into the action. I started my army right here. Let's, while this is happening, let me just go ahead and see what they got rocking here. Okay, so they have some deck droppers right here. They have 2 crabs, so 2 monster units. They also have a tree, Necrofex Colossus. Looks like an ent of some kind, like a... Or maybe it's just a bunch of ships connected together. But, yeah, so they have a unit of spiders, rotting Prometheans, gunnery mob. They have these Cerato's Free Company. They have gunnery mob, bombers. I mean, those don't really mean anything. They have these goals, these Morn goals. So they basically have everything that a army like this would want. But you'll see very quickly here when we get into it. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to show you what's actually happening to the army. Yeah, it doesn't look like... Okay, well, you'll just, I'll just kind of explain who's what. So, the Blob here, and this is pre-reinforcements. I think it's pre-reinforcements, or do I have them all set up? No, I have the reinforcements in here. Okay, so the reinforcements that go down the quickest and that actually take damage are the Crypt Ghouls. Or, yeah, the Crypt Ghouls. Not the Crypt Horrors, the Crypt Ghouls. These small guys down here. These ones, the Crypt Ghouls. The Crypt Horrors take almost no damage at all. My Graveguard with Great Swords end up taking a little bit of damage, but I keep them topped off through the engagement. But other than that, everybody ends the fight at full health, and my Graveguard is basically untouched when the auto-resolve is, or when the resolve is over. So here we go. It started off a little sloppy because I started my line more spread out. Let's see here. Yep. So the Colossus starts off by peppering my main line. He gets a pretty good shot on the warriors right here. But he eventually hightails it when he sees that I'm pushing. Pushing. And then right about here is when I give the command for my infantry line to engage. Yep, there they go. So that's the engagement line. So here we go. This is where the Blob is going to be, right here. This is where I take all my units right here. This is my Blob. I got them out of grouped formation because they were getting stuck up in the trees. So I had to unlock the formation and let them move freely. They're free now. They're all going to pile in here, and this is just going to be a massive amount of carnage and death. These are the Graveguard. They're taking a little bit of damage, and they continue to take some damage until Tenchi on his... this is Tenchi on a corpse cart with an unholy lodestone. So as soon as he gets into the fight, he's going to add regeneration across the board. He's also going to add a fair bit of AoE damage goes across the board. But you can see this happening already. You see my bars are barely ticking down at all. The ones that are part of the main line. I think these are, yeah, those are Crypt Horrors. Actually, no, those are Crypt Ghouls that are taking the brunt of the damage. The Crypt Ghouls are taking damage. I'm fully convinced that if I didn't have the reinforcements for this fight, I would have been able to do this. But you can see this Leviathan is already faltering. So, I mean, essentially what I'm doing here is I'm mass clicking the entire Blob to attack one unit individually at a time. And this is basically what the end result is. You see the auras span up here. You see my aura of influence. All of that influence is adding to leadership, so all of my units are not breaking even in the slightest. They're just taking damage. They're also getting healed from the corpse cart, and there's additional damage going around in the blob as well. You see this thing is just pounding away at the flank. It's barely doing anything at all. I mean, he's kind of fucking up those crypt goals, but whatever. I'm taking enemy fire as well right now. See if I can't... Yeah, you see the Karen Wraiths are good to go. The Crypt Horrors are barely taking any damage at all. My Vargulf is at full health, because... I have two of them in here, by the way. There's two Vargulf. I can't see where the other one is. But, yeah, you see this thing. I think I clicked on this next. Yeah, and what I ended up doing there, I skipped over it, but... or I didn't have the camera on it. I have a hex going on down there. That's... I forget what exactly that's... Curse of Years. Negative melee attack, negative speed. Slows them down. So I'm just throwing up hexes. I'm using Arcane Conduit here. I converged all my infantry line down in on the blob so that I can get extra healing done on them. And now you just have a giant kill box of Vampire Mayhem. And you can see all of my bars are here, basically full. The only things that are taking any kind of damage at all are the Crypt Ghouls again. But my Vampire Lords are good. My Karen Wraiths are good. I mean, as we're killing units, we're getting health back at an even quicker rate. And here it comes. That's the end of their monsters. Now I'm just going to do some cleanup work here. And this, I think, is... I didn't even use my bats. I forgot all about them. And that's the end of the battle right there. And that's it. I killed the Lord, also. So, yep. That is the Vampire Blob. And you'll see the result of the... I mean, you see the Karen Wraiths are at full health. The Crypt Horrors are at full health. All of my Vampire Lords are at full health. And in the replay, and you can see the post-battle screen. This is the Blob. My Grave Guard... barely any damage at all. Those will basically heal in one turn with my perks. Campaign perks. Vargulf, no damage. Crypt Horrors, no damage. Nothing. Not a thing. These took the brunt of the force, but everything's dead. Except for this one unit. And then I cleaned that up on the next. Everything died. Everything. And, yeah, I mean, obviously... disclaimer that my Karen Wraiths are rank 7, so they're a gold chevron, and so are my Crypt Horrors, and one of my Crypt Horrors is actually rank 8. I think he actually got a rank out of that. Yeah, he did, because this one was actually a triple chevron, a triple silver chevron when it came into the fight. You can see, they barely did anything. I mean, they barely did anything damage-wise. I actually don't know where most of the kills ended up. Looks like my Grave Guard and my Spearman, maybe? I mean, that's actually really surprising. Yeah, it would appear... Well, I think what happened... Yeah, most of the deaths were my infantry, and I suppose it was probably because... Yeah, it's very strange. These numbers are very strange. It's probably because there were a lot of monsters that we killed in that blob, and then the rest just ran away or, like, basically disintegrated. But yeah, I mean, that's the killing power of it. If that was a human faction and they weren't disintegrating away, these Karen Wraiths would have a lot more kills. These Grave Guard would have a lot more kills. My Vargulf would have a lot more kills. I mean, everything would have a lot more kills. But that's the blob, and that's what it can do.